Hello, welcome. So, I am coming to you live from a remote destination, and the sun is setting, and this is my first time doing a stream from a remote. So, it's very loud where I am, and I'm going to try and find a way to move, find something quieter, but this was the best I could do for getting a spot that has good Wi Fi. And right now, I'm just waiting for people to connect in so that I don't get too far into the content before people show up. So, we're going to be talking tonight about something that happened while I'm on my trip. And like I said, I don't want to get too far into it before people connect into the stream. So just passing some time until people, there's one person. Hello. Hey, Georgia. Georgia, can you let me know if you can, I know there's probably other sounds that are loud right now, but can you let me know if you can hear me okay, or if the video is fluid and it's not choppy? Let me know. Can you hear me okay? And is my video fluid? Background noise is minimal. That's amazing. Good job, little portable tablet-y thing that I bought for this purpose. So right now I'm downloading. So this was all very I spent the last half hour trying to figure out how to get a connection from where I am. And I'm going to do a quick little show. Let me see if I can. I don't know how to do this. Let's see if I can. Camera, rear camera. Can I just do it like that? Can I just go boop, hit rear camera? Yes, I can. Look at that. Pretty awesome little app. So right now, that little spot between the trees is water. I'm pretty sure that's the Pacific Ocean. And this is a working space in the main strip of Puerto Viejo, Costa Rica. And right now I'm actually downloading some photos that I want to use in this live stream, but it's going way slower than I thought it would. So I'm just starting the stream until I have those photos, because those photos really show a lot about what it is that I want to talk about. So there's the main strip. So this is the beautiful place that this is a co-working space on the main strip of downtown Puerto Viejo. And so you can actually come here and pay for high-speed internet. And you can work up there in the loft, or you can have meetings here. And there's it's all open all the time. There's no glass or no walls, because the temperature here is the same all the time. It's pretty much always 24 degrees or 30 degrees, like 24 at night, 30 during the day, like pretty much every day. So the clouds that we see in the sky during the dry season, that would just be a pure blue sky. There wouldn't be clouds almost ever. And we're entering into rain season. So it rains every night and is mostly sunny during the day. So as the nighttime comes, the clouds move in, and that blue sky right there moves, gets covered. And then overnight it rains, and then the next day it clears back up again, and it just does it every day. I'm a little surprised that my photos haven't downloaded yet. So, and in 20 minutes they're going to kick me out. So I'm going to swap my camera back. Boopity boop. Yep, there I am. And hope that those photos download. And for anybody that connects in or doesn't get to connect in today, hopefully they can watch the replay. So I am finding this kind of loud, and I will probably end up moving, but I just thought maybe the internet would be a bit faster here. So I'm going to it's kind of cool that I have that. If I move out of the way, you can kind of see the roof with all the fancy pictures. All right. So, yeah. All right. Content's not in yet, but it's okay. That's just the how it works when you're traveling. So today we're going to be talking about how to recall the good times to get through the hard times. And Georgia, who's here, probably has done the most amount of this mindfulness practice type work with me, and knows it well. But there's an interesting story that led me up to deciding to talk about this today specifically. So I'm going to move because motorcycles, people, that kind of stuff. But I can walk and talk. So I just thought that the download would be done by now. So we're going to walk and talk. Let's see what it's like up there. It's kind of, I think, more fun to actually have this interactive. So here I was on the beach here in Costa Rica. Looks like somebody's going to be coming back up here with me at some point. Watch your head, it says. So this is the other side. Actually, might as well show you. Let's see, just go like this and get out of the way. You can see all the trees, and that's basically what Costa Rica looks like. It's just a lot of trees and a lot of greenery pretty much everywhere all the time. And I've gone through, I don't know, 4 hours of driving across Costa Rica, and it all pretty much looks the same, actually. It's really just the weather that changes. So anyway, here's the thing. So the reason why I came to Puerto Viejo, landed in San Jose and drove over to Puerto Viejo is because on the Caribbean side, which is what this is, the weather is, so here's the story that led to this stream today, okay? Because every week I like to make a stream that is relative to what I went through that week, and I tie that into mindfulness practices, which is pretty much what I teach people as part of my coaching and therapy services. And I really do like to live what I preach. And I do believe also that whatever it is that we teach in the world, we're going to get lessons to really practice what we teach. It's just kind of how our subconscious minds align ourselves for the sake of, integrity and also really being authentically ourselves. Whatever we decide that we want to be in the world evolves or shifts so that we get to really practice becoming that. And so something that I really focus on trying to be is happy in every moment. And I actually find that to be a bit of a challenge for myself. It's something I've been working on for my whole life. And I have many different trainings and 15, probably more, somewhere around 15 years of training and practice of living in the moment, this mindfulness type of lifestyle. And something I still notice now, the conundrum of if I'm truly living in the moment and I'm sitting on a beach literally behind me, and I'm in a happy place, the sun is perfect, the weather's perfect, the water's perfect, and I'm happy where I am. 20 minutes later, when I'm not there anymore and I'm rushing around a place to try and find internet, to run a stream, to make things work that still I'm watching a download. I mean, do I have the same level of relaxation and happiness right now that I did while I was sitting on the beach? And for most people, the answer is no. And for me, I'm going to say no as well. I mean, I'm not as happy literally right now as I was when I was lying on the beach, but I do endeavor to be. I actually want to know how to maintain that. And what I noticed was, I have to turn this the sound off here because the stream people notify me. I'm hoping that these photos download. I took photos on my phone, and I'm downloading them onto this tablet so I can put them on the screen to show you. And I don't want to have to hold my phone up to run this live stream. So hoping that they actually finish downloading. So anyway, life of doing this for the first time ever. So while I'm on the beach, I'm really paying a lot of attention to what is happening within me in that scenario. I mean, it's really a perfect scenario. So the level of happiness and relaxation for me is at the absolute highest possible potential. So while I'm lying on the beach, while I'm actually doing, for what, like literally probably the first time in my entire life doing this, while I'm there, I'm trying to register every possible detail of that scene. And I'm registering with intent the smells, the colors, the movement, the patterns, the sounds. You get what I'm saying. Every sense. What does the air even taste like? What does my body feel like? What does the texture of the sand? What's the warmth of the air? What does the sun feel like? How's the sun different where I am versus the sun when I'm in Toronto area? And because believe it or not, whatever tan I have on my face, I actually got it in Toronto before I got here, because they say that Costa Rica is the place where you're going to just burn to a crisp if you don't have a tan. So, so then I leave the beach. I go rush. Maybe got to get some stuff done. Maybe I'm a little tired, or now I'm inside. And I then, while I'm not in the beach, I register what my body's going through in some other scenario, like here. And I compare. I say, what is really the difference between sitting on the beach in beautiful sun, warm weather, and sitting in here? Still a perfectly safe, beautiful place, lots of resources. I have food and drinks and good people and co-workers. Why would I be any less content or happy sitting here doing this live stream than I was sitting in the sun on the beach with beautiful water? And the real, I guess, answer is all relative to what I call it. What is my internal judgment? Because I could actually love what I'm doing right now more than being on the beach. And some people really do. Some people actually hate being on the beach. They hate being in the sun. So that's the first and foremost, is what have I chosen to define as my happiness? And there is some amount of reactivity to the scenario so that I can learn what my happiness is. But my body is going to naturally react to this, each and every scenario, naturally react. And it's also going to project and react from a place of projecting and judgment. And we have to be mindful of which one is happening. Do I genuinely love lying in the sun with warm water, or am I just projecting that that's fun because I saw a bunch of ads on television or watch a bunch of movies glorifying it? So that's first and foremost, is registering in my body through repetition if I genuinely find pleasure in that. Then when I go to a situation like right now, I register my body, my nervous system, the speed of my breath, the speed of my talking, speed of my eye movements and my body movements, my temperature, my pulse. Do I have positive thoughts, negative thoughts? Do I have cycling thoughts? I register all of those things in this situation, and I compare it to what I consider to be my perfect situation, my bliss. And if it's not at the same level right now, as I'm talking to you live, if I'm not at the same level of bliss as lying on the sun, I wish it's not downloaded. I wish I could just post the photo. So we're just going to do this because we got to just go with pura vida here. This is the way life is. So, boop. I'm gonna we're gonna make this happen. Okay, I'm gonna make this screen really bright. So I don't want this to be out of order, because what I'm talking about really is a flow of consciousness that I went through, and I'm sharing that with you to teach you. So this is pretty good. Okay, obviously it's a little blurry, but we're all just working together here because the downloading isn't as fast as it should be here in this co-working space. So this is a photo of what I was looking at when I'm describing to you my scene. I'm literally lying like there, walking into that water, and it's awesome. It's not as blue as it looks like on my screen. It's a little bit more green, but it's pretty awesome. Blue sky, it's warm, it's perfect weather, no bugs, nobody on the beach. It's literally that empty. It's just empty. It's all like basically mine. And so registering that, my bliss, registering this, comparing, why is this any worse? Does it even have to be? Now, take it one step further. There are times where it's pouring rain, it's freezing in the rain, things are shutting down. Maybe I'm late. I didn't get to the restaurants. They're closing. Nobody's serving me food. I'm just giving you like kind of a real world scenario here for me. This is really not that bad compared to what some people are living through right now, but I'm just giving you a real world scenario. And in those situations, I'm thinking, I'm stressed, I'm worried, I'm not going to get what I need, my needs met, and I'm cold, my nervous system is heightened, my body's shivering, which also like changes my blood pressure and my heart rate. And I would call that a stress response. But is it genuinely stressful? Well, I'm going to say, yeah, to some degree, it's stressful, okay? Because it's really tying into the core survival needs, and that is a stressful situation, okay? Not a projection, okay? So this is a core need. So in that moment, I can put this back on the screen, right? Recall the good time to get through the hard time. So while I'm standing in the rain, bugs are biting me, things are closing, stuff's not going, the way I want or need. And I can take a moment to pause and start to recall into my memory and into my thoughts all of these details. What is the color of the water and the sky? What is the color of the sand? Believe it or not, that sand is not brown. The sand's actually black, which is even more notable. This is the color of the sand. So those are black shoes and black shorts, but the sun is making it look kind of gray. And that is black sand, which of course the camera is not focusing on, but good enough for you for right now. So black. So that makes it pretty notable. It's also perfectly clear. So I recall the texture on my feet. While I'm standing in the rain and I'm freezing and I'm shivering, I'm starting to try and recall every detail of being in these scenes that I'm showing you. The warmth on my skin, the smell of the air, the texture of the sand, the peacefulness of being there alone, the freedom and permission to even be there at all and have there's no one stop me or judge me. And I recall what that does to my nervous system while I'm standing in the rain and I'm shivering and I'm like, I just want to be gone from here. I don't want to be here anymore. And you start to recall these, and this is called, I don't know if I can actually show this. I'm going to add a banner. Give me a moment. Revivification. Add banner. Show it. Okay? That's what this is called. Revivification. Now, obviously, vivify would be like the word vivid. Okay? So vivid is the important point here. We have to make vivid again what is in our memory and load that memory vividly into all of our senses in the now. Now, I happen to have a blissful situation that I can refer to. Boop. That's literally, 2 days ago. Let's call that 2 days ago. Okay? That's 2 days ago. Same, and that's the same day. Okay? And there's the picture of me on the black sand. Sorry for the detail here, but the photo's never downloaded. And that's me looking at the water breaking and on the black sand. Okay? Empty. Totally my own. And how vividly, in every sense that I have, what is that smell while I'm standing here? Right now, I can smell a gorgeous smell of some kind of like bread being baked right now. That's probably going to get, smells kind of like a pizza dough, or there's some kind of sauce happening. And that's what I'm smelling right now. That's happening somewhere in this cafe that I'm sitting in that's going to close in 5 minutes. And I smell that right now. But as I speak to you and I look at the camera, I see a black camera on my screen. I see now, right here and now, the glow of the screen on my eyes and on my face. I'm thinking about now vividly recalling, even though there's a sound of a truck going by, I hear that truck as waves. I start to pull in from the sense of the blue on my screen. It reminds me of the blue of the sky. Let's pull that picture up. This is what I'm revivifying. I'm using everything that's in this scene that I'm in right now. This brown wall, the slightly blue color of my black, this is actually gray black shirt. And I'm recalling, using all of these to recall this scene that I was standing in back into my field of awareness while I'm sitting here with you. And while I'm talking about that blue sky, the texture of the sand on my feet, I start moving my feet right now under the table. And I remember what it's like to be on the sand. And as I'm doing that, this disappears. This literally, I cannot see these walls while I'm talking to you. I completely forget what that smell, what is that, bread? I have to recall that bread now. How more vividly I can call that into my memory, the better. Now, I hope the point is made that if I'm having a rough time and I'm recalling bits and pieces of different scenes, it's hot right now. A beautiful winter day just before Christmas, being outside skating in downtown Toronto. So 50 people at least are on the ice skating around in a circle, and I can see the white of the snow. I can remember the chill on my fingers and on my toes while I'm skating and watching the people there, and the slipperiness of the ice, and the darkness of the light of the sky because the sun went down early, but all of the twinkling lights. As I'm telling you this right now, I'm sweating sitting in Costa Rica, and yet I feel a cool breeze. I don't even note that I'm sweating. I just feel coolness. So my senses start to associate anything that's in my current scenario to the one that I'm revivifying, which currently right now, as an example, is skating in Toronto in the winter. And my body starts to feel cool and cold right now because I'm revivifying the sense of touch. Now, I also recall doing that and people buying, let's say, hot chocolate because it's winter. So I can go imagine myself going over to there's actually a bunch of hamburger stands and hot dog stands, and pulling into that portion of the scene, not just the coolness on my hands, but also the smells of I actually just smell the hot dog right now. I don't think there's an actual hot dog here. So I can smell the hot dog vendor in Toronto on Queen Street as I'm talking about it. I literally just got a smell of that hot dog. And there isn't one here. Here is bread. Just to prove a point, okay? So how do we apply this? I really wish these things had downloaded. I feel like I'm probably just going to quit. I'm just going to stop that. Okay? Because I really wanted to show you these. And that's a failure. So we're just going to quit that, pause, or even just fully cancel that. Boop, canceled. All right, call that done. And see if I can get you at least the photos. Okay, let's just see if this is even possible. And download. Okay, so let's come back. let's see if that works. It's 5 o'clock. They're going to come and tell me to leave, and then you and me are going to walk downstairs, and they told me that I'm going to go onto the main level of this building. All right. But I'm going to just wait until they kick me out, even though the owner told me to leave at 5, and it is 5 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock your time. So, okay, how do we apply this? Well, the point of this is that I did notice how quickly it was, and this is why I'm loading these photos, how quickly from me leaving the beach to going on to the next whatever event, going back home, going to get food, whatever the case may be, just literally getting up off the beach and even thinking that there was something I had to do other than just lie there and suntan in the warm weather, how quickly the sense of that beach scene dissipated in my senses. That was something I really noted and started to pay attention here because I made such an effort to keep the feeling of being on the beach. Because I know that tomorrow it's going to be 24-hour rain for the next week. This is the last sunny day I'm going to have here, guaranteed. And I'm trying to carry that with me, which is the point of this live. And this live stream is I'm noting how quickly the sense of the beach just erases out of my nervous system because I start paying attention to the here and now of the stress of the traffic or, my deadline here and my zips actually worked. Yay. So I could show you some of these. And this is where there's the conundrum of living in the present moment. So yeah, they're closing. Everybody, or rather close now. Yeah. All right, here we go. I got the official get out. Okay. So, but we're portable. Life of wireless internet is amazing. This is the scene. Whoop. It's me coming out of the. All right. So now I look like a vlogger. This is pretty awesome. I love that I can do this. There's Michelle. She's packing up. There's the owner who did a really great job of taking care of us today, right there. And we're going to go downstairs and finish this up. This is cool painting and artwork. And this is the place I'm at in case you're ever in Puerto Viejo. I don't know how to get out of the way of that. Everything's reversed on the camera. This is what I see coming down. It's probably all just a blur because I'm moving so fast. Indoor water fountains and stuff like that. All right, we're going to have a seat and finish this up. So I can't do it outside because there's so many. Look at this. This is indoor trees. Just literally wide open. Just wide open to the sky. Pretty fun. And they have all these shops that you can see are closed in on the left and on the right, but the sky is open so that all these trees can grow. And then, so these are all, go ahead. These are all plants that are just like literally being rained on by the hole in the ceiling because it's just always warm here. They don't have to close any of the walls. All right, I'm going to sit on this cool bench made out of tiles. All right, finish this up. All right, thanks for sticking with me. Okay, so now, here's the thing about living in the moment. Living in the moment is a really fantastic thing for revivification. Okay? Not for revivification. Living in the moment is very good for focusing on what's happening in the here and now and watching everything else actually just disappear from your focus. And most people have a difficulty with presence, with mindfulness, and so their minds tend to scramble or feels like ADD, where most people their brains tend to dart between multitasking. Okay, whereas truly living in the present moment is saying that only what is in my chosen sensory awareness is all that matters right now. That's mindfulness. I'm choosing what I'm sensing with my senses. Even though I can hear music out there, I can actually choose to only hear my voice and the music will disappear. And this is why I wanted to download these photos for you, because it's something I noticed while I was on the beach. Now, this is something I learned, of course, a while ago when during meditation practice, but I was able to actually get a way of showing you what this looks like, what mindfulness looks like to a person who's a practiced meditator. So let me see if I can. I don't know. It's gonna be kind of difficult because this is not happening. Well, whatever. We're gonna make this work. Okay. This is important to show you. So when we are placing total focus on a single point, the longer we do that, so if I just pick the camera, which is a little circle right there, okay? The more I keep my awareness, my eyes, my ears, obviously the camera doesn't make a sound, but I can pay attention to my own breath, the stillness and the movement. The more I focus on that camera, the more everything else dissolves, like I said. And in that place of dissolving my attention to anything else, which is automatic because I've chosen what I'm focusing my senses on, in that place of clearing my senses by just focusing on one singular thing, in this place, I can now start to load in to my senses anything I want. Warm weather, cold weather, thoughts, happiness. I can load into my nervous system that's revivification. It's hard to say it. Okay? That's that. But where most people have difficulty is that when, okay, I'm going to finish this point and then I'll see if I can load these photos for you. When a person, this is the most important point of this, people having difficulty living in the moment, is because in the moment, let me hide that for a second. There's too many things going on and people's minds bounce around, and revivification is too difficult for most people because the senses are being completely bombarded, which, that's just always, but people are not very practiced at singular focus. And so that to release the attachment to all these sounds and movements and senses in the body. So we start with a practice of picking one thing and breathing and paying attention to our breath and the movement of our bodies while we're breathing, and the sound of that breath and the even the look of my hands and my peripheral vision. All of that will start to clear away the thoughts in the mind, and eventually they'll start to slow down too. If I just keep repeating a thought, I'm just looking at a camera. I'm just looking at, that doesn't matter. I'm looking at a camera. At some point that will all still. And then we can start to load in what we want, as I said. But people have most trouble staying in the singular point long enough to get to the point of loading in a happy scene. So here's the reason why. When a person has a traumatic event, the body automatically registers absolutely all of the sensory information. So if something right now happened to me very shocking, okay, if something very shocking happened to me, I would register the color of these trees and their shapes. I would register the lattice, that diamond, and the color of the lights. My body would register the wood, that open sky. My body would register the sweat and the temperature. My body would register the sounds, everything that's happening, the echo off of the ceramics. My body would register every single point if this was a traumatic event. That would then put me into a state of hyper awareness, we would call that. It's not really hyper vigilance yet. That happens after we're trying to stay safe. So hyper awareness, taking in all the senses in case something's trying to harm us. And then the body registers that snapshot and holds it in the long-term memory eventually. And if it doesn't, if your body doesn't come to terms with it, analyze it, process it, it will technically become a trauma, because in the moment it's really just a stored scene. It's just senses. There's no judgment yet. But if the body doesn't know how to judge it, it will store it as a trauma. And every time my body, if I was got hit with a trauma right now, I would be triggered by these plants. I'd be triggered by lattice. I'd be triggered by this temperature. My body would recall this trauma based on these individual triggers. So this is a natural thing that happens for the body to be, for the sake of protection, registering these things. But the body does not have an easy time registering when everything is safe. So registering a good time takes effort, mindfulness, because we are relaxed. And we don't need to know what's in our senses when we're relaxed and safe. So when I'm sitting on the beach and everything looks all happy and warm and looks like this, instead of actually remembering all those colors and the sounds, my body actually just literally doesn't hold on to any of them. There's no need to. It already knows that it's safe. My body already knows it's the sound of ocean. My body already knows it's a blue sky. And so it doesn't register any of that. And that's where this practice is such a powerful one, because let's put that up there. This practice of revivification requires mindfulness while you're in the happy scene. It requires mindfulness of, I apologize for this, that while I'm there, I must choose to register this because it is not traumatic. Then, when I'm in a situation like this, where my mind is easily being triggered and loading stress, that was right, beep, loading stressful memories from this heat, from the stuffiness, from the sounds. When my body's doing this automatically, this is where I can use this practice and say, hold on a second. These are all just triggers. I'm really safe here. What I'm going to do is start to remember my practice of sitting in my happy place on the beach, and I'm going to load those scenes into my senses right now. And that will calm my nervous system. That will instantly actually start to lower my temperature for real. And it will slow my heart rate, lower my blood pressure, all of the things will happen. So as a final point, what if, it's called I don't have access, okay? A lot of people are going to say, I don't have access to this. I don't have access to a memory of this. I've never been to water. I've never been to a warm place. I've never even been safe. How am I supposed to revivify a moment that I've never had? It's never been calm. It's always been too busy, too many things going on. It's always been a rush to try and survive, make money, take care of things, get bills paid, whatever. Like, there's no way I'm going to load into my brain a memory that I don't have. Well, this is where we can take moments. First of all, I absolutely guarantee you, at some point in your life, you saw something. If you're listening to me, if you're listening to this video right now, which means you have access to internet, you have time, I can pretty much bet that you have had a happy moment. Okay? Even if it's not happy, pura vida, even if you have not had a happy moment, you've had a moment of some form of peace, some form of seeing a blue sky, touching grass, eating some food that just for some one moment tasted amazing, passing by somewhere, even if it was in a rush on the way to work, and smelling something that just smelled incredible. You can load those little moments, but you won't have them if every moment of your life, all you're thinking about is the stressful things. And this is why, in order to have the ability to recall good times, to get through the hard times, you have to make an effort to collect little moments, little bits of happiness, and you can create a scene. I can take the little bits of green off of that tree. I can take the little breeze that's coming off that fan up there, and I can load that into creating the idea that that fan is a cool summer breeze in a forest. And I can load in a bunch of these, and I can create with my brain a happy scene that I've never had. And that will still have the same effect, even if it's vividly creating versus revivification. That word. It'll still help you. I hope this served you today. I love that you stuck with me and through all of this. I'm just going to take a quick check to see if anybody's been sending messages that I can't see. So bear with me, because not all of the messages come through to the live stream. So let's just see if I can see any comments before. And if there's any questions or comments or feedback, please go ahead and new message request. Nope, that's nothing. Sorry, I'm just trying to. Facebook's really not the easiest thing to use, to be honest with you. But let's just make sure I got your comments. 10 comments. Did you find something? Nope. All right. Let's let that go. And let's come back to this stream. So, is that Georgia? Probably. Georgia, just sent there. Well, thank you very much. I really do want to make some kind of effort here to actually show you ad overlay. Downloads, OneDrive. It literally, all right. Bear with me, very difficult to do without a mouse. Oh, wow, that just became way easier to do without a mouse. Okay, so it's now, who knows? Let's assume those are uploading to you as we speak. All right, here we go. Oh my God, this is awesome. All right, so, yeah, look at that. That's awesome. All right, so this is off of my phone, and this is the scene that I'm using as an example to revivify while I'm in a space like I'm in right now. And the sand, just to make it something even more notable, is black, okay? And perfectly smooth and great. And when let's see if I can do this, it's kind of tricky here. This is the photo of the waves breaking. Hey, Lydia. Just on my way out there, Lydia, we're just closing up. So these waves, what I did was, I can't point, I don't have a pointer here in this. What's Lydia saying? Oh, close that. Hello. Yes, hi, Lydia. All right, so this, Lydia, you probably missed out that I'm sitting basically like across the street from this photo right now. Yeah, amazing. I can read her lips. So see how the waves are breaking? What I did this morning was I was up at local time 5 a.m., which would be 7 a.m. your time. And I was looking at the waves, and my mindfulness practice this morning was to look at the horizon line. So that gray straight edge line between the edge of the earth and the sky, I focused on that while the waves were breaking. Okay, so the waves are making these beautiful shapes. Okay, and I'm trying to not watch them. I'm just trying to stare at that horizon line, and I'm paying attention to how long I can last before my eyes look down and try and look at the waves. Okay, and I did not last very long. I probably was good for like 10, 15 seconds. But at some point in my life, I was able to do this for like 15 to 30 minutes back in my like meditation training days, like 13 years ago. So I tried to bring that on today. And this is what happens when you stare at that sky. I just want you to note, let me see if I can load this here. Boop. All right, here we go. So this is for real what it looked like. So that is exactly the detail of the clouds of what I was looking at this morning at 5 a.m. my time. Sun is on the right side. As I stared at this horizon line, that dark gray edge before it touches the sky, not moving my eyes whatsoever, just looking into the farthest off distance, this is what happens. At about 2 minutes, it literally does this. I kid you not. Boop. It actually does that. Notice that the sky goes more white. This is before and after. If I continue to do it for 5 minutes, do not move my eyes, completely relax all of my attention, purely commit to the present moment, this is what happens next. The sky goes white. This is literally what I see in my eyes. If I move my eyes for even 1 split second, blinking is okay, but if I move them, it goes back to that and it resets. Then I got to stay focused on the horizon until I watch my my eyes start to, I don't know how to say it, but like my vision doesn't go blurry. It looks exactly like this, but everything just starts to release. And the senses are not able to register the information. This is what mindfulness looks like. If I keep doing this, the next thing that would go white would be the water, and eventually the black sand would be kind of a light gray. It probably wouldn't go pure white. If I stare at this for a good like 20 to 30 minutes, everything will go from this to just white, like the sky. From that place of being cleansed of my senses by literally just this for like 30 minutes. That is a practice of presence, true presence, which means there is no senses. What's in your senses is some amount of automation and some amount of choice. And that's why we're talking today about revivification, because then I can load this scene into my senses after it goes white like this. And anywhere I'm sitting, I can create this. Let me get rid of that. So even if I'm sitting here, if I just completely relax all of my senses, even the sounds will go white. They'll go silent. Movement in my body will completely, I won't go completely still because obviously my heart and my brain are moving, but there will be a total, like I'll become a tree. And the senses will go blank. And at that point, I will have the most chance of loading into my senses whatever I wish. But in the case of just to recap and to bring to conclusion what we're talking about today, even if it's all like, it's going crazy, the world, I can't do it, my thoughts are going crazy, pick one thing that you can focus on. This is too difficult, okay? Especially if literally the world is shaking. If like, I can't even do this. The world is shaking around me. I can't stop it. So I gotta like go. We start with the eyes, and what you do is you close your eyes and you actually look at the back of your eyelids. Literally look at the back of your eyelids, and that's one thing that you can look at that will stay still and will help for this to start to happen. This kind of blanking, this whiteness will start to happen. If you look at the back of your eyes long enough, it'll actually go white. The other thing is to pay attention to your breath. Even if the world's crazy and think you're on a bus that's shaking or the people are running around and screaming, you always, by nature, have awareness of your breath. So start to pay attention to that. That's where we start with mindfulness. And the next thing, of course, is to register what's happening in the movement of your body. Okay, so your eyes, your breath, and the movement of your body. If any of those you can get some amount of anchoring on, you can at least start to load something into your senses to calm yourself more and more and more. Okay? I have 2 minutes. They're going to turn off the internet. I kid you not, because I paid for 1 hour and then they're going to take it away from me. I'm extremely happy that this all worked out, that I could show you this. And you know what, just for the fun of it, just because because I have the 2 minutes to do this. Any questions, please send them through. I'm super excited that you guys have been listening. I'm going to put on my little kind of Percy thing, and we're going to go, and I'm going to give you a little tour, okay, until the internet actually cuts out. But that's it for the content for today. I'm going to switch my camera just so you can see. This is Puerto Viejo in Costa Rica, because Lydia just tuned in, and some of you might have just tuned in. I'm going to switch my camera front to rear on my Windows tablet here. Give it a moment, it'll kick in. So I'm going to walk out of this kind of shopping center. There's a lot of these scooters around. I actually rented something a bit larger than this. Natural juice, lots of juice bars. This is the street. Most of the time there are no walls because it's just always warm here. Lots of people on bikes, and that's actually what I rented for the last couple of days, was that scooter there, or one just like it. And just checking the internet, because if I go far enough, it'll just kick out. This is a lot of basically what Costa Rica looks like. Pretty much anywhere I go, I've gone to multiple cities other than San Jose. All of the beach towns pretty much look like this. So you got lots of little kind of cool shops like that. Let's see, I can show you this one. Little clothing shops, and some hammocks there, slatos. Now, this is pretty, these are kind of like for the white people, like a surf shop. And then there's a lot of these little bakeries. I don't know how far this internet's actually going to go, because technically I was in there. I was up there talking to you guys. And then they closed at 5 o'clock, and then I had to go down there. And they told me that they weren't going to turn off the internet, which I have for a total of, I think, another like 1 minute. And then this will just turn itself off. Let's see what the neighbor here looks like. This is the vegan cafe I was just in. This is a cool bike. I haven't seen one of these before. This is electric with 3 wheels. And this is like the fanciest, most expensive restaurant here. That's what it looks like. Otherwise, they look more like kind of like that. It's just kind of like, this is more of what like a restaurant really looks like over here. This is like the white person restaurant, all like, fancy with the logos and the fire pizza and all that. And this is what a real restaurant looks like. Everything's just open. There's just chairs literally on the actual ground, and the food is absolutely awesome. And the water, I don't even know if I could actually get to it, but the water is, I don't think I can like zoom this or anything. The water is at the end of the street. So that's the blue in between the trees is actual water. And there's no way to show you that from where I am, because the internet will kick out. So anyway, thanks for being with me. And you can see it says Puerto, and then Viejo, and then shops, because this is like right downtown. Anyway, I wish I could show you the water, but I think, well, who cares? Let's just go for it and see what happens, right? Little surf shop. They have surfboards in there, even though the waves are pretty small. And this is more local. This is really what the locals eat. Lots of empanadas and a little homemade food. This is what a typical house looks like here. Well, this isn't a typical house. This is a really fancy house. A typical house is more, not like this. All right, there it goes. Internet is kicking out. Got the warning. Thanks everyone for checking in. I tried to get to the water, but I couldn't do it. This is right over there. But anyway, have a great week. Thanks a lot. So you can see the nice palm trees and stuff. Have a great week. It was good to see everyone. And next week, I am still in here, Costa Rica, but I can't remember where I'm going to end up. I think I'll be in Dominical on some beach somewhere. So hopefully we'll see you then. Okay. Have a great night, and pura vida.